What do we have to do to be like Dean to get an asteroid named after us? Is it Dean Regas 8815?
Yeah.
What the heck, man?
I know. I got an asteroid named after me, 8815 Dean Regas. Yeah, so you put the number first, then the name. The number is like basically the order of the asteroids, how they're discovered. So I got a pretty low number, I got to say, since they're up to 700-something thousand. Yeah, it was one of the great honors of my life to get this. And the way it happens is that whoever discovers it gets first dibs on naming it. My asteroid was discovered in 1984, but the astronomer never named it. And I don't know what happened. I got to look up this guy and see like why. He probably found like dozens of them and ran out of names, or maybe died afterwards. I don't know. I have to find out why he didn't name it. So then after a certain length of time, if the discoverer doesn't name it, it falls to whoever computes its orbit. So the guy that computed the orbit, his name is Fred Bowman, a Cincinnatian, and he knew me from the observatory and was like, hey, he came in one day. He's like, I named an asteroid after you. I'm like, what? What are you talking about, Fred? It was like completely out of the blue. And yeah, it's official. I got a plaque and everything.
Can you tell us all of the critical information about your asteroid?
No, I don't know.
What? You haven't studied it?
So yeah, when we see asteroids, they look like little dots. So you can't, even the size is indeterminate. The composition's indeterminate. So it's not one of the ones that have been studied in great detail. So
you were supportive that we lost Pluto as a planet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen when they determine your asteroid to just be a little thing, not an asteroid anymore?
That's fine. It's a minor planet. It is small. I know what it is.
Where is it? When we look up the sky, do we have to have the most powerful telescope to see 8815 Dean Regas?
You don't. So there's some amateur astronomers have taken some pictures of it for me. So that was really nice. It's it looks like a little dot. It's a nice place I can go to if I need to. People ask, well, so what if it turns out that it ends up coming on a collision course with Earth? Would you still want your name associated with it? And I thought,
in an evil way, you do, don't you?
I mean, if one of them's going to come at us, I'd hope it'd be mine. I mean, I wouldn't want it to be somebody else's.
So what's up with this one that just flew by today or yesterday or whenever? Are they always flying by?
Yeah, they're always flying by, and it's total clickbait on the social media and places like, asteroid flying really close to Earth today. It's like, I liken it to say like, I don't know what the last one was, how close it was, but often they're like, oh yeah, asteroids could come within 2 million miles of us or within 4 million miles of us. To astronomers, and this is the problem, the less media savvy astronomers always say, yeah, that's really close. Yeah, I mean, it's close in comparison to other ones that flew by, but that's like, so what I usually say is if 4 million miles is as close to running into us as me driving close to the Grand Canyon on my commute over here to Kentucky. I mean, that's how close this asteroid wasn't even close to us. But it is definitely a concern that we need to keep watching for these asteroids.
Because they've hit us.
Yeah, we've been hit in the past. We know that's affected there have been extinction events that in our very distant past. And that's one of the things why we know about so many asteroids now, or we're up to 750,000 of them, because there's this group of telescopes that is their mission, is to look for things incoming. And I think the thing is anything bigger than 100 feet across, we pretty much know where all of them are. And none of them are on a collision course.
But don't we get surprised every once in a while?
That's the thing. It's like all the ones we know about are the ones we know about. But then the ones that we don't know about come out of the darkness and out of farther away. And so that's why it's important to keep being very vigilant with this kind of thing.
What's the closest one has come in your lifetime?
I'd say that between us and the moon is kind of that. If it gets between us and the moon, that's a little scary to get kind of close.
Because how far away is the moon?
240,000 miles on average. So it's that's pretty close. I'd say the one that hit in Russia, I think it was 2013. That one was.
Didn't it blow up above the trees?
Yeah.
It didn't actually. It wasn't an impact.
Yeah, that was a startling one because that came out of the blue. That was not seen ahead of time. In fact, that was one. There was a story the day before, like asteroid coming close to the Earth from this other direction that was going to miss us by 2 million miles. And then the story breaks about this one hitting. And I remember hearing about this. I'm like, oh, this is baloney. This is probably nothing. And I'm like, holy crap, look at that explosion. I mean, because all these videos of the
trees
thing exploding. So that was pretty dramatic. And luckily nobody was killed from that. Some injuries from flying glass and the breaking out, the sonic booms that happened. It broke out all these glass.
How big was it? Do they know?
I think it was either 40 feet or 40 meters. I can't remember how big. I think it was 40 feet across. So it was a good sized one. Definitely, if it was right above a city, could have done some real damage. But that was the biggest one in at least recent that's been documented.
Did the atmosphere protect us? What happened? How did it blow up before it had impact?
Yeah, so this was a type of asteroid or a meteorite that was mostly made of rock, so it wasn't like as metallic as some of the other ones. So if you see a shooting star going across the sky and it has a green tint to it, that means there's probably iron and heavier elements, and that could actually survive to hit the ground sometimes. This one was a rocky one, so it was less dense, and when it comes through the atmosphere, it's under all this pressure and heats up and everything. That's why you see the shooting star part of it. And then at about 40 miles up, 50 miles up, it will either like burn up and give this big trail, but often will break up into lots of pieces. And so that one, just the pressure just got to it, and the heat was so intense it just exploded above the ground. But if it was made of metal, it probably would have survived all the way, hit the ground, and made a big crater. But those the rocky ones are more common that they would explode like that.